Today we need to talk about JHope. Some people saying pictures were illegally leaked of JHope and what happened. I want to get into JHope leaving a note and people screaming that JHope has been in physical danger. And then we have JHope saying stop to a certain person. So hey Dumplings, it's Dave Decide, hater or not, make sure you subscribe with the notification bell on. Grab your dumpling, hey spilling mug merch, and let's go. We need to get into JHope saying what type of people to avoid, and interestingly enough, it might be a behavior that we all do. So JHope was invited to do an interview for Esquire. This interview obviously was recorded right before he enlisted and was just released now. In the interview, JHope was asked about what type of people he likes the least. The question referred to people who make a mess everywhere they go versus someone who is often very late. JHope responded that in general, you need to stop meeting with these people anymore. But then overall, he explained that the lateness is probably something that he does not tolerate and considers being on time to be basic manners. I agree with this. Given how valuable JHope's time is, and especially if it's a business situation, I would imagine he would be very irked if someone was keeping him waiting for hours, especially if he purposely tried to fit someone within this hour window and they don't make it in time. This then causes a lot of issues because what will JHope do? Wait for the person even though JHope is now going to be late for the next engagement? Obviously he would leave. I do this a lot as well. If people are late within this time period that I have available, I usually just leave. If the person is extremely important and known to be late, then I probably would try to give them the entire day if I am meeting them. But if I have a lot to do and there's a lot I could do and this person is late, I tend to get very annoyed. However, while I can say all that, I do end up being late a lot of the time. Not extremely late, usually just a few minutes, so I can't really complain when people are late. However, I don't think the people JHope is referring to are the people who are a few minutes late, but people who are like hours late. And I think JHope has the right idea about that. Of course, there's many people who are often late. In Korean culture, it is considered extremely rude. JHope said that if it was someone who just often makes a big mess everywhere they go, that's not a huge issue. JHope can then clean up after them when they leave, or JHope can ask them to clean up after themselves. But you can't remedy time. This definitely shows what type of person JHope is, and he is a very business person and no frills. He likes things to be done efficiently and in a timely manner. This is exactly why he is a multi-millionaire. I would imagine he has a very strict schedule and has tried to make sure that he optimizes his time the best that he can and try to do the most that he can within the day. It's very interesting how JHope still has stuff coming out after being in the military for so long, and will probably have more coming out soon, and you definitely can't do all that if you end up being late all the time. JHope during Suga's Suchita addressed how there was going to be a documentary talking about JHope's life as a dancer, and that will end up coming out in 2024 when he is discharged from the military. And the song will be called Hope on the Street, just like the song he did with J. Cole. Of course, that is very cute, and I definitely look forward to watching that soon, which by the way, if you do want to react to the JHope and J. Cole song with us, come over to Patreon. We currently have a $1 tier with open spots, and we'd be very excited to welcome you there, and we always have a great time laughing and having fun. Link in the description. JHope has definitely been okay lately, and it's actually very exciting to see all the wonderful things he has been working on while at the camp. He recently posted a photo with his fist in the air and holding a baton. I want to get into the photo and the note that was released alongside it in a little bit, but there's been a lot of conversation around the quote-unquote leaked photos that come out of the military, and it's a conversation that has a lot of legs. It's delusion that leads to more delusion. First off, the fandom loves to point fingers and say one thing is the cause of something, and they're sometimes wrong at what is causing the issue. For example, for the last few videos, I have talked extensively about how Taeyang and Jimin are not being abused by HYBE and explain why, yet I still see people saying that HYBE is the bad guy. On top of that, YouTube channels like mine are often blamed for causing rumors and making things trend. Well, I will say, if I had such power, how come I can't make people believe that HYBE is not abusing Taeyang or Jimin? The same thing goes with the fact that I have sat here before and talked about at length how the photos that have come out of the military are not illegal photos. The fandom thinks that every photo that we see of Jin or JHope at the camp is being leaked illegally and taken by stalkers. It was then believed that the people who were claiming these were illegal photos are people who are actually haters of that member. So people who were saying that Jin military photos were leaked and then they should not be spread are people who don't like to see Jin on their feed, and doing this so Jin can get forgotten. Meanwhile, while JHope has had his photos come out, there seems to be a lot less people requesting the photos not get circulated. circulated. I can't make too much sense of this because this is all I got. If you have questions from what I just said, I do too. These rumors spread by haters to tell people not to circulate photos often get so big that people who are genuinely supporters of that said member will actually believe it's leaked photos and not spread. So I want to say this, and hopefully if you guys see these comments anywhere, you'll know what to say. Stalkers, paparazzis, tabloids, and any people who are actually invading privacy. I don't mean people who are called on to take candid photos of a celebrity on the street. I mean people who are actively trying to track BTS down and take photos illegally. These people would not be allowed into the military camp, and neither would they try. One of the dumbest things you can do is risk your life, risk being shot by military personnel to get a few photos of BTS members. How about the fact that the majority of the photos are posted of the members are of them literally looking into the camera, meaning they likely know the person shooting the photo and have an idea that the photo will likely be posted somewhere. I've literally read comments that say we should wait until the members themselves post it. I just don't know how to explain how that comment makes no sense. The person taking the photo is the military. The military doesn't want any of their soldiers on their phone, so they're not sending the photo in an email to all the members being like, post this whenever you can, can't wait to see it. The point of these photos are for the family and friends of the soldier to be able to see that soldier is doing pretty well. These photos are posted on an app that the family and friends use to view their soldiers. When things seem so dramatic, like, oh my god, invasion of privacy, no one is doing anything, he must be so sad. When there's so much drama, that could potentially just be anxiety, and people need to take a step back and just think about it. Real life events are rarely ever this dramatic. People were saying that in the photo you could see J-Hope's eyes, and Jungkook had talked about J-Hope at the camp before, and specifically J-Hope's eyes. During a live stream before, Jungkook talked about how J-Hope posted a photo into the BTS group chat, and Jungkook talked about how much J-Hope has grown. Jungkook specifically mentions the eyes becoming a man, and people had mixed feelings towards this. Others were saying that the eyes don't look manly, but have looks of turning J-Hope into a pointless killer, making him into a fighting machine, putting him through trauma and government enslavement. First of all, we need to take a step back because this is someone else's culture, not yours. The members may not want to go to the military due to them not wanting to stop their career, but that is completely different from them not wanting to go in general. I think if they did not have their careers, they would have been more than happy to go because it's the way to support and help their country. A lot of men in Korea look forward to the opportunity to somehow make a difference in their country, and this method serves as a way for all eligible men to do so regardless of what their actual career will be. And the country runs off of collectivism, which is very common in Asian countries versus individualism. So no, I don't think J-Hope is being abused at the camp. Also, when J-Hope released his latest photo with him and the baton, he also released a note that got everyone really emotional. He talked about how he has been moving up in the military and he has been challenged by the work, and then of course by the recent heat. He talks about how he is physically exhausted and knows that he can make it through and wishes us all the best as well. And then of course people were saying that the camp is working J-Hope too hard. And I just have nothing I can really say to that except, why do you think that? J-Hope did not enlist to sit there and touch clouds and rainbows. It was going to be physically exhausting. This is why we thank soldiers for their service to the country. It's not easy. And so of course he will be exhausted and tired. But this means that he is doing his job and working hard. We also know that he is doing his job well because he has been moving up, and these ranks will follow him for the rest of his life. So the ranks are a big symbol as to how hard the boys work and also how respected they are at the camp. Let me know what you think. Make sure you check out my Patreon for more videos, link down below. Thank you, just leave a comment right here. Love you, bye.